Good morning and welcome to Samsung SDS's podcast, Field Notes. I'm John McKenzie, and I will be your host for the next few minutes as a first in a podcast series, confronting the urgent realities of campus violence, sexual assault, and security failures, and how Samsung's Ionix Command AI-powered unified platform is transforming university safety, reducing liability, and driving down insurance costs. This series explores how the integration of autonomous drones as first responders and intelligent security ecosystems are rewriting what campus protection looks like in America. In this episode, we sit down with two leading voices in campus safety, George Strazakis, founder and CEO of Ionix, and Dr. Jim McGee, a retired FBI campus security expert with more than 20 years with the Bureau. Together, they pull back the curtain of the data, the failures, and the technology that can no longer be ignored. Good morning, Jim and George. Welcome to Field Notes.
Good morning.
Good morning, John. Thanks for the invite.
Very good. Jim, let's start off with you. According to RAINN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, 26.4% of undergraduate females and 6.8% of undergraduate males experience rape or sexual assault through physical force, violence, or incapacitation during their college years. When you first heard that number, what did it do to you? And why do you think most parents dropping their kids off at university have never heard of it?
John, that number is deeply concerning because it reflects a systemic issue, not an isolated incident. In campus security, we look at both reported and unreported risk. And when 80% of cases go unreported, it means the true exposure is significantly higher than what institutions see in their dashboards. The reason most parents are unaware is because universities report compliance metrics, not operational realities. Safety is often communicated through policies and statistics, not actual experiences. The gap here is visibility, not just of incidents, but of how effectively institutions can detect, respond, and prevent them in real time.
Thank you, Jim. George, kind of expanding on that. According to RAINN, only 20% of female student victims of campus sexual assault ever report to law enforcement. That means 80% suffer in silence. Meanwhile, the FBI's 2023 active shooter report documents that educational environments remain among the most targeted locations in the United States. When the data is clear and this damning, why are so many campuses still operating with fragmented legacy security systems that were never designed to work together?
Thank you, John. The issue is structural, not intentional. You see, most universities have built their security environments over time. They added cameras, access control, dispatch and communication system, each one independently. So each works on its own, but incidents don't happen in silence. During a critical event, as you know, teams need one operational picture, and today that often does not exist. So even well-equipped campuses rely on manual coordination. The opportunity is not replacing systems, but connecting them into a unified operational layer. Without that integration, response remains fragmented regardless of how many tools you have in place.
Very good. And George, most universities, of course, they have cameras, they have emergency blue light phones, most have an app, and yet incidents keep happening. The Clarity Act requires annual crime reporting, but that reporting is after the fact and it doesn't prevent harm. So I have to ask, are we just creating illusions of safety? And what is the fundamental difference between that patchwork of disconnected tools and what Command UCMP actually delivers?
In many cases, yes, it creates a perception of safety rather than operational readiness. You see, John, universities don't lack tools. They often lack orchestration. Individual systems generate data, but without real-time integration, still operators need to connect that information manually. That introduces delay and uncertainty. Command UCMP changes that by introducing a command layer that unifies alerts, cameras, access controls, personnel, and workloads into one common environment. The difference is not more data. It's real-time, actionable intelligence that enables coordinated response. That's what turns tools into operational capability. Thank you.
Thank you, George. And Jim, can you describe, without naming anyone, of course, a real scenario where a fragmented security system directly contributed to a worse outcome for a victim, where cameras weren't talking to dispatch, where no one had a unified picture, where the response was too slow because no one operator could see everything at once? And then tell me, what would Command UCMP have changed? One operator, one screen, every camera, every alert, every officer's location, unified in real time. What does that mean for the person in danger?
Oh, that's a great question, John. Not only did I spend a couple decades with the FBI, but I also spent 20 years in higher education. So I've seen many crises unfold. And many times there's a lot of different parts to the response, but no one has the full view. One team is reviewing videos, another is trying to locate responders, another is handling communication, but there's fragmentation, and that creates delay. In time critical situations, those delays matter. A unified command environment changes that dynamic. It allows one operator to immediately understand what's happening, where it's happening, and who is best positioned to respond. That reduces decision time and improves coordination, which directly impacts the overall outcome.
Very good. Thank you for that, Jim. George, let's talk about what Command UCMP actually is, because it's not just another camera system, and I want to be very clear about that. Imagine this: every alert, every officer's GPS location, every panic button activation unified in real time. There's no switching between systems, no radio calls to find out where your team is, no blind spots. For a university security director, what does that single unified picture change about how you respond when something goes wrong?
Yes, this is a very important point, John. Actually, it changes the first critical minutes of response. In traditional environments, operators move between systems, verify information manually, and communicate sequentially. That creates friction by itself. With a unified platform, all relevant inputs and alerts, cameras, access events, staff, locations, all are visible in one common place instantly. That enables faster situational understanding and more precise decision making. You see, for a security director, this means reduced response time, more efficient deployment, and greater confidence that nothing critical is being missed.
And George, the average campus police response time right now is between about 4 and 11 minutes. And according to the FBI's 2023 active shooter report, the majority of active shooter incidents are over before law enforcement arrives. And educational environments are among the most targeted locations in the country. Your unified command management platform's AI layer detects anomalies and triggers coordinated responses the moment something is wrong, including where deployed autonomous drones as first responders that can be overhead within 60 to 90 seconds. How does that close the gap that legacy systems simply cannot?
The gap is driven by decision latency. Actually, readiness is built before an incident happens. Legacy systems require operators to gather and validate information manually. Command UCMP minimizes that by correlating inputs in real time and surfacing what matters immediately. That allows workflows to begin faster. When integrated technologies like drones are included, situational awareness immediately can be established even earlier. The impact is cumulative, reducing friction across detection, validation, and response, which compresses the time between incident and action. This readiness-first operational model the results to every minute gained before and during an incident is translated into significant reductions in operational disruption, liability exposure, and reputational damage for the university. Thank you.
And Jim, there's a concept in criminology called capable guardianship. The idea that crime is suppressed when potential offenders believe they're being watched and that a response is inevitable. According to RAIN, only 20% of campus sexual assault victims ever report, which tells us that right now, perpetrators pretty much feel safe. When a campus deploys Command UCMP, a visible integrated platform where AI is watching, correlating, and responding, does that change the calculus for someone planning an attack or an assault? Is there data on deterrence effects from unified command deployments?
Well, I think it's important to note that deterrence is influenced by perceived risk. And when individuals believe that behavior will be detected quickly and response will be coordinated, it can change their decision making. Today, many campuses lack that visible response capability. A unified command approach strengthens that perception by improving detection and coordination. And while it doesn't eliminate risk, it contributes to an environment where incidents are less likely to go unnoticed or unmanaged.
And Jim, for someone who's never heard of Command UCMP, describe it the way you describe it to a worried parent dropping their daughter off at university for the first time. Not the technical spec, the human reality. What does that actually mean for their child's safety? And how is it fundamentally different from the CCTV system the campus already has?
Well, I would explain that it helps security teams act faster and more effectively if something happens. Instead of searching across systems, they immediately understand the situation, where it is, what's happening, who is closest to respond. That reduces uncertainty and improves response speed. For a parent, that key takeaway is what the institution it means that the institution is better prepared to manage incidents in real time. UCMP is a 24/7 guardian watching over their child.
Very good. A great deal of comfort with that. George, coming back to you, right now, most campuses have their CCTV on one system, their access control on another, their emergency dispatch on a third, and their mobile security team using radios that don't integrate with any of it. According to RAIN, 26.4% of undergraduate women experience sexual assault on campus, and only 20% report it. When an assault happens in a parking garage and no one has a unified picture, how much time is lost, and what does Command UCMP change about that in concrete, measurable terms?
Time loss occurs through multiple delays, namely switching systems, confirming information, contacting teams, etc. UCMP removes those steps by providing a unified operational view. So operators immediately see the incident location, the relevant cameras, nearby responders, and workflow. That reduces manual coordination and accelerates the response. The result is faster dispatch and improved situational control. Actually, speed during incidents comes from integration, especially nowadays when preparedness has become a leadership issue.
And George, the Command UCMP platform uses AI to support decision-making in real time while flagging anomalies, correlating incidents across locations, surfacing recommended responses. But I want to push on this because AI making decisions about human safety is something that makes people very nervous. Where does the AI end and the human judgment begin? And in a scenario where seconds count, where the FBI data tells us most active shooter incidents are over before police arrive, how does that partnership between machine intelligence and human authority actually work?
Excellent question. And a very long topic that we have to brief. Technology should support people, especially in command and control systems and orchestration, not replacing them. AI identifies patterns, prioritizes alerts, and connects the dots and information quickly. But final decisions remain always with trained personnel. The role of AI in our case is to reduce noise and highlight what matters, allowing operators to act faster and more accurately. That combination improves both efficiency and accountability.
And George, the platform currently runs on Samsung rugged devices hardened with Knox security with trusted execution environments that ensure every communication between officers, drones, and the command center is encrypted and cannot be intercepted. Why does that matter for campus safety? If a security officer's tablet gets compromised during an active incident, what's the worst case scenario? And how does Knox, as the security backbone of command, UCMP, prevent it?
Field operations rely on trusted communications. If a responder's device is compromised during an incident, information flow can be disrupted exactly when speed matters most. That is why secure mobility is important. Samsung Knox helps harden devices and protect communications so officers and operators can rely on the tools in their hands. In modern campuses, safety, cybersecurity, and physical security increasingly work together.
Very good. And Jim, coming back over to you, universities are being sued. Families of shooting victims, survivors of sexual assault, parents of students attacked in poorly lit parking lots. They're taking institutions to court and winning. 26.4% of undergraduate women experience sexual assault, yet most campuses still lack unified command infrastructure. The FBI's 2023 active shooter report confirms educational environments are among the most targeted in the country. What does a single successful negligence lawsuit cost a university? And how does that number compare to the cost of deploying Command UCMP across an entire campus?
Oh, this is a great issue that's of importance. The cost is rarely only the legal settlement. A serious incident can create legal expense, reputational damage, leadership scrutiny, enrollment concerns, and long term loss of trust. From a campus security perspective, the better question is not lawsuit cost versus platform cost. The real question is whether the institution can demonstrate preparedness, coordination, and timely response. A unified command capability helps reduce operational gaps before they become failures. It supports accountability, documentation, and faster action to the incident, all of which matter when institutions are expected to show they took safety seriously.
Thank you, Jim. George, I've heard that insurers are now actively seeking universities' security technology program stack in terms of their current stack and the technology before they set premiums. Is that true? And if a university can demonstrate that they have Command UCMP, one operator, one screen, AI-powered unified situational awareness, Knox security communications, and integrated rapid response capability, what kind of premium reduction are we actually talking about? Can you give us a real number? Are we talking 5%, 20%, more?
Actually, it would not be responsible to promise a universal percentage because insurance pricing depends on many variables: claims history, campus size, geography, controls, governance, and insurers' methodology. But what is changing is the conversation. Insurers increasingly look at operational maturity. Can the institution detect, coordinate, document, and respond effectively? Command UCMP helps demonstrate that maturity by providing a unified visibility, structured workflows, secure communications, and auditable response evidence. So the strongest position is not we guarantee 8%. It is we can show a stronger measurable risk posture.
And George, help me make the financial case to a university board that is skeptical. Let's say I'm a CFO. I'm looking at the cost of deploying Command UCMP across my campus. Walk me through the return, not just in lives protected, but in dollars. Reduced insurance premiums, reduced litigation exposure, reduced incident response costs, reduced enrollment risk from a high-profile safety failure. According to Rain, the data on campus assault is already public, which means the liability is already visible to any plaintiff's attorney. What does that math look like when you put it all together?
You see, a CFO should evaluate Command with CMP as an operational resilience and risk management investment, not just a technology purchase. The return comes from several areas: better use of existing systems, faster coordination, reduced manual processes, stronger governance, improved documentation, and lower operational friction during incidents. There is also a reputational dimension, as John said previously. A higher profile safety failure can affect trust, enrollment, donor confidence, and leadership credibility. The financial case is that fragmentation has a cost, even if it is not always visible until something goes wrong. UCMP reduces that hidden cost by creating structure, visibility, and control. Every minute of delay is a big loss to the system. Command delivers the minutes to millions effect. Every minute saved in detecting, coordinating, and responding to a campus incident can prevent millions in operational disruption, liability exposure, reputational damage, and the recovery costs. By unifying security, administration, facilities, and first responders in real time, Command turns faster decisions into measurable financial and operational protection.
Strategic indeed. And Jim, as we start to conclude this first podcast on the Samsung Ionix Unified Command Management Platform, UCMP, there is one final question. If a university president is listening to this right now, and they haven't yet invested in a unified command and control platform, I want you to sit with this. According to Rain, 1 in 4 of your undergraduate women will experience sexual assault before they graduate, and only 1 in 5 will ever report it. That is happening on your campus right now. What is the one thing you want that president to feel as they walk into their next board meeting? Not think, feel.
Well, again, great question. I would want that president to feel responsibility, not fear, not defensiveness, but responsibility. Student safety is one of the most fundamental obligations of any institution. But I would also want them to feel urgency, because awareness without action does not change outcomes. The data already shows the risk. The question is whether the institution is prepared to respond with the speed, coordination, and seriousness the situations require. The encouraging part is that improvement is achievable. Universities can strengthen readiness today if leadership decides to move from acknowledgement to action.
Thank you, Jim. As we conclude our first UCMP podcast, we want to pose a question. Is your campus already in the data? And is your security infrastructure ready for what that data predicts? For a private confidential assessment of your campus security readiness and to see Command UCMP in a live demo built around your specific environment, reach out to us directly, j.mckenzie@samsung.com. We greatly appreciate you joining us for this critical discussion and look forward to speaking with you.